guys, not the usual programming today. As you can tell from the thumbnail, this isn't the usual how-to guide. And instead is a sort of announcement / description of another series which I'll be starting on this channel, wherein I'll be actually building and extremely detailing a city. I'll still be uploading how-to videos, maybe even in conjunction to the city series, where I'd build something in the city like a plaza or a transit hub within the format of a how-to video. So make sure to subscribe if you want to catch those videos or see how this city grows. Moving on to the city proper, it won't be based off of just one city or style of city like other projects on YouTube, and will instead mix the aspects of two modern Canadian cities, Toronto and Vancouver. From Toronto I'll be taking a lot of things, such as the fact that the city will have an actual skyline, something which Vancouver does not have as a result of regulations taken to prevent the view of the mountains from being blocked. I personally like skylines, so the mountains will take a back seat for this one. From Toronto I've also drawn a lot of the railway infrastructure and road styling. The city will be set in a Pacific Northwest setting, with beautiful mountains and lots of conifers in the forests. And the geography overall of the city will draw a lot from Vancouver. I'll also be using a lot of the modern urban planning which is found in Vancouver, building extensive transit and bike infrastructure along with having no highways proper within the city. In preparation for this build, I've used the wonderful Procedural Objects mod to make several buildings which will play important roles in the city. I also made the bridge which you've just seen. I did this off camera because the PO is performance intensive, so recording would add an extra chance of crashing. The most notable of the procedural object buildings that I've made is this observation tower. Many North American cities have towers such as these, notably Seattle's Space Needle, Calgary's Calgary Tower, and of course, the CN Tower in Toronto. I didn't want to use any of those because they felt too iconic, so instead I made my own, using a mix of parts from the CN Tower, Calgary Tower, and Auckland Sky Tower. I'm really pleased with how this one came out. I've also thrown together some more condo buildings, as while the quality of the condo buildings on the workshop is extremely high, the quantity leaves me wanting. I've made a few somewhat lower res versions of the Ice Towers in Toronto, and thinned and angled another Toronto condo in a way similar to the Shangri-La Hotel in Vancouver, to see if I can at least protect some mountain sightlines. And finally, I've made these two office towers. Not a lot of these, or a lot to them. I just added antennas to the white one, which is the first Canadian place from Toronto, my personal favorite building, and thrown together a building similar to the new CIBC building in Toronto as well. As you can see, a lot of this build will be Toronto-style skyscrapers in a newer setting, surrounded by a lot of high-density development as is found in Vancouver, in a Pacific Northwest style. The map I've used is Kerrisdale Bay by Dye, and while I've modified it a bit, it generally suits my purpose very well right off the bat. I'm not really planning on going any further than downtown, as I really don't want to build suburbs or industry very much at all. So here's my basic plan for the city. The bridge and the highways on it leave the national park on the other side and cross into the peninsula where the city will be. And the highways end right there at the end of the bridge. Above the bridge I'll have a smaller park, not really the size of Stanley Park, but still considerable. I didn't put a Stanley Park sized park because so many trees so near to where I'd be focusing the entire time would absolutely destroy performance. On the opposite side of the bridge, I'm planning an area similar to Cole Harbour in Vancouver, with lots of similar condo buildings, and then a park on the waterfront that stretches down to the island chain, which I'll likely expand and add lighthouses and some rocks in the lake. I'll have marinas branching off of each park, and the process of building those will likely be a how-to video. And then next to that, I'll have a stadium district or maybe even an Olympic village. Between those two, I'll have my main train station which will handle through traffic and national traffic. And then I'll have another station on the opposite side of the financial core which would serve more as a connector to suburbs. And the financial core itself will be heavily Toronto styled and have a lot of skyscrapers. My main waterfront will be built along those tracks by the core and will be styled a lot like Toronto's waterfront with lots of piers. Beyond that, I'll have the entertainment district, which will have the tower and a few other landmarks. The rest is just residential, and it'll be a very long time before we get there, so this is all subject to change. It is a very small area overall, but the level of detail will be extraordinarily high, and I'm planning on detailing every intersection to a realistic level. So it's gonna take me a lot of time to even accomplish just this. Anyhow, I did this video so that I could just get right into it in the actual opening video. And I'd like you guys' help with naming the city and deciding whether or not I should keep this gloomy, foggy weather or go for a sunnier setting. That's about all for this announcement video, but before I go, I'd just like to say thank you, since the response to the channel and my content has genuinely been amazing. And I'd also like to apologize for my poor upload schedule and my very poor audio quality. You guys do deserve better. Thank you for watching, and I hope you'll enjoy and watch this series.